The veil between worlds is thinner than we think, especially for those in the unrelenting glare of Hollywood spotlight. Celebrities, with their sprawling mansions and storied pasts, often find themselves unwitting hosts to the spectral, where the extraordinary bleeds into the eerie. From haunted manors to cursed film sets, these A-listers have shared bone-chilling encounters that blur the lines between reality and the realm beyond. Jessica Chastain's tale sets the tone, a midnight ordeal in a London haunted house while she filmed The Huntsman, Winter's War. Exhausted from a late shoot, she returned to her rented Victorian-era abode, peeling off layers of costume and makeup in the dim glow of a bedside lamp. As fatigue set in, the room's lights began to fade, not flicker, but slowly dim like a theater curtain descending on an unwilling audience. Panic rising, Chastain wondered if she was suffering a stroke, her mind racing through symptoms. Then, abruptly, every fixture reignited. Overhead bulbs, table lamps, even the sconces on the walls blazed to life. A deafening hum filled the air, not mechanical but otherworldly, like the low thrum of an alien vessel powering up. In the chaos, a blinding white light engulfed the space before plunging it into inky blackness. Heart-pounding, Chastain addressed the unseen presence aloud. "I understand you're here. I don't mean to disturb you, I just want to sleep." To her astonishment, tranquility returned. No further disturbances that night or after. Chastain, known for her rational portrayals in films like Zero Dark 30, found herself negotiating with the ether, a humbling reminder that some forces demand respect, not confrontation. Across the pond, Sting, Gordon Sumner to those who knew him before his police days, embraces the ghostly as essential to his 16th-century Wiltshire manor, perched hauntingly near Stonehenge's ancient stones. "If you haven't got a ghost in a house like that, you need one," he quips, his rockstar swagger undimmed by the supernatural. One restless night, the musician awoke to a spectral vision. A woman in antiquated dress cradling a swaddled infant, standing sentinel in the corner of his opulent bedroom. The air grew thick, charged with an inexplicable sorrow, before the figures dissolved like mist in morning light. Sting, a self-professed skeptic raised in the gritty shipyards of Newcastle, found his worldview shattered. This encounter, shared in interviews with a mix of wry humor and lingering wonder, transformed him. No longer dismissive, he now views his home's resident spirits as woven into its timbered beams and tapestried walls, echoes of Tudor-era tragedies, perhaps a lost noblewoman and her child. Sting's music, infused with mysticism from fields of gold to desert rose, seems richer for it, as if the veil's thinning inspires his lyrical depths. Courteney Cox, the Friends icon whose on-screen neuroses masked a steel core, has her own arsenal of hauntings, starting with a casual delivery that turned portentous. A courier at her Beverly Hills doorstep paused mid-handover, eyes widening. "Ma'am, there's someone standing right behind you." Unseen by Cox, the figure loomed, igniting a cascade of unease. Later, in a jet-lagged haze during a London press junket, the disturbances escalated. Drifting in that liminal space between sleep and wakefulness, she perceived grotesque faces leering from shadows, lights pulsing erratically, and a potted fern uprooting itself to skitter across the floor like a possessed creature. Bolting upright, she roused her partner, Snow Patrol's Johnny McDade, pleading for validation. "You're asleep, love," he murmured, but Cox knew better. These were visitations, not dreams. Summoning courage, she bartered with the entities. "Please, not tonight. I need rest." Dawn broke silently. The poltergeist activity ceased as if honoring her plea. Cox's stories, delivered with her trademark deadpan wit on podcasts and talk shows, humanized the horror, turning terror into teachable moments about boundaries, even with the beyond. Demi Lovato's spectral saga roots in the sun-baked suburbs of Dallas, Texas, where her childhood home harbors a playful yet persistent poltergeist. As a wide-eyed girl, Lovato conversed with Emily, a spectral child framed in an antique photograph, their chats as innocent as tea parties with invisible friends. Her sister Dallas corroborated the uncanny, a fleeting glimpse of a girl peeking from the closet, giggling before vanishing. Visitor anomalies piled up, a friend's phone auto-texting, "I think this place is haunted," in relentless loops, unsent yet insistent. The crescendo came when Lovato's uncle witnessed a helium balloon descending the staircase, not drifting but deliberately navigating a sharp corner like a guided specter. Lovato, survivor of her own near-death odyssey in 2022, approaches these tales with a blend of whimsy and wariness, linking them to her advocacy for mental health. In her documentary Dancing with the Devil, she muses on how trauma might thin the veil, inviting such intrusions. Her home, now a sanctuary of recovery, remains a hot spot, reminders that spirits like sobriety demand ongoing vigilance. Joey King's brush with the unnatural struck during the production of The Conjuring 2013, James Wan's horror opus based on real-life paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. Amid the colonial saltbox set's oppressive atmosphere, designed with authenticity down to the Warrens' actual artifacts, King awoke to unexplained bruises blooming across her limbs in patterns too precise for clumsiness. Bizarre places, she recalls, welts forming overnight like invisible fingerprints. Makeup artists, veterans of gore, suspected pranks, but King's earnest pleas led to medical scrutiny. Diagnosed with idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura (ITP), a blood-thinning disorder causing spontaneous bruising, the condition baffled doctors. Miraculously, post-rap, the symptoms evaporated, leaving King unscathed. Now 25, the Kissing Booth star reflects on it in interviews with A Philosopher's Poise. The movie summoned something real. Her experience underscores film's seductive danger, art imitating life until life imitates art's darkest corners.